Hey guys, it's Sherry Vegas and welcome back to my channel. In this resin art tutorial today, I'm going to show you how you can make iridescent resin without actually using any iridescent resin pigments. And all you're going to need is this really cool film. You probably noticed that my background has changed. I'm in the process of currently sort of organizing and doing up my studio space. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I've moved house and now I've got a lot larger space, so I'm finally getting around to actually getting like shelves and just organizing and making it look a lot nicer. And I got this like big new table that's way bigger than my old tables, and I'm kind of getting everything organized. So I will be doing a studio tour video soon-ish once everything is organized. I've been doing this in stages just because I've been so busy, but I've got my nice little display shelves here and my brand new table, so I'm feeling super motivated and productive because stuff is getting organized. That side of the studio is still a mess, so that is the next challenge that I'm going to tackle. But anyway, I've talked about that enough, but I really like my background now, and I'll probably be changing it up as I get new pieces, so you can see some of like the previous projects I've done before. But anyway, I am rambling on. The most important thing you're going to need for this tutorial is you're going to need diffractional. I think that's how you say it. Hold up, let's have a quick little look. So it's called Diffractional Grating Roll Sheet. I will add a link to this in my Amazon store, so you can buy the exact same one that I bought. It's a bit of a special like sheet film, and it's got like this rainbow iridescent quality to it, and it's pretty cool because when you pour silicone on it, the silicone actually picks up the iridescent rainbowness of it and then transfers that to resin. So I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that. I'm going to be making inlays today to go into it, but you can take this exact same technique and make full resin molds. I'm just doing inlays today because I obviously wanted to test it out before I went really big. As I always say to anyone new, or if you're trying a new idea, start small and get big. So I've just tried a small little project, so that way I'm not wasting any of my products. If it didn't work, it did work. But yeah, and next time I'm going to start making molds, so that way I don't have to add my inlays in. But you can take this technique and upscale it.
Okay guys, so let's get into this tutorial. So I've got this iridescent sheet, and as I said previously, it'll be linked down below in the description so you can find the one that I used. One side is going to be a lot more shiny than the other side, and that's the side you want facing up. So I'm going to be using a baking tray for my mold here because I am just making an inlay, so I'm going to be pouring the silicone over the top, and I'm just cutting down my sheet to size, just making sure it fits in. A few things that I did learn along the way working with this sheet is it's really easily damaged. I would actually recommend using, you know, those white fluffy gloves or something like that. I wouldn't touch it with your bare hands because I noticed I left fingerprints all over it and had to clean that off. But also too, when my sheet had arrived, Australia Post had damaged the tube that it came in, and it left little dents on it, and that's going to transfer over into the silicone mold. So if I was going to do a new project, I would order a new sheet, one that was not damaged, but because this is just a test project, I thought I would still use this sheet. So I've just given it a bit of a clean because it just fingerprinted up so easily. So be very, very careful when working with this because whatever marks you make in are going to transfer over. Once you're happy with how your sheet is looking, then you're just going to mix up some silicone. I'm just using the Pinky Seal silicone, which is a 1:1 ratio, so just even amounts of both part A and part B. And because I'm making an inlay, all I'm going to be doing is just pouring that over the top of my surface area. Once you've got even amounts, then you just need to mix it together. I do like using this Pinky Seal silicone just because you can see when it's mixed together properly. It's really easy to see because the white and the pink blend together and you get that light pink. And then I just pour my mixed up silicone over my iridescent sheet and just let it level itself out. And then I just let my silicone set. Once it was set, it took about half an hour. I just peeled it straight off my iridescent sheet. You can also see that the sheet still keeps its shine. You don't lose any of that, and then it transfers over to the silicone, which I think is really cool. I had a casting of the silicone molds that I wanted to use, so I just placed that down as my guideline and then used a Stanley knife to cut my silicone around. This way I get the perfect shape to be placed back into my silicone mold. Obviously, depending on what mold you're going to be using, it does depend on what you cut your inlay to. Once it's cut the whole way around, I'm just going to peel it out and then I can place it into my mold, and then I'm going to have a really shiny iridescent piece without having to make a new mold. If you wanted to, you could obviously take this technique and fully cast a brand new mold instead of making an inlay. It's completely up to you how you want to use this technique. So I'm just going to be using 2 different colors today on each coaster, and I'm just going to test out what they kind of look. So I'm doing a black and a white and seeing how it's going to shine with those colors in the resin. So those are going to be my base colors poured over my silicone inlay. I'm using the Barnes Epoxy Cast Resin. This is the 2:1 ratio resin and it's designed for casting, so it's great to work in silicone molds. And then I'm just going to pour each of my resin colors into the separate molds. I think the black one is going to come out super shiny, as generally when you work with like a chameleon pigment or any of those two-toned duochrome pigments, black always makes them pop. And I feel like the white's going to be like quite subtle. And then once you've poured that in, you just want to leave it overnight to set before you go and demold your pieces. So this has just been left for 24 hours, and then I'm just going to be pouring them out, and the inlay just pulls off straight away, and you can see the white. You get like a real soft, like rainbowy, slightly pearly. It's not in your face. I actually quite like it. It's really subtle. And then with the black one, it's really vibrant, the colors. So the inlays pull off and you can see that the inlays are still shiny, but the black one, just look at that shine and all of those like rainbow colors when you turn it from like side to side. The only downside is you can see all those little nicks and marks that was already on my iridescent sheet, and that has transferred over to the silicone. So that's just something you got to be careful with.
So I'm really obsessed with how these have turned out. I can't believe that you can just take the rainbow iridescentness off and the silicone just picks it up and then adds it onto resin. I know there would be like a scientific term or like why this does what it does. If you know, like leave it in the comments below. But this is really cool because it's still on my silicone inlay, so I could keep reusing this. I'm really interested to know how many times I could use this before it stopped transferring the iridescence over, because my sheet is still really iridescent. I don't notice any change in it. So I wonder if you can just keep, like the sky's the limit, there's an unlimited potential of making molds from the same sheet, or if eventually it will break down. I'm very interested to see that. I feel like the black one had to turn out, it's the most effective, if I can get it in the light, I don't know, you guys have seen it, just because I think the black really emphasizes it. The white one is really beautiful because it's super subtle and it's like more of a pearl coming through. I really like this. I'm definitely going to upscale this technique and do a really big project, so keep an eye out for that one. But let me know your thoughts in the comment box below. Is this something that you would try? Did you even know that you could do this? And also too, if you kind of understand why this works, I'd love an explanation, because I know how to do it, but I'm not sure exactly why and how it just can keep transferring and transferring again without damaging the original sheet, because it's still quite shiny. But anyway, if you are new to my channel, please do subscribe, as I post new YouTube videos every single week, all to do with resin art, alcohol, inks, Jessima and candle making. Those are the ones I specialize in. So if you enjoy those kind of things, please do subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so that way you get notified every single time I do upload a new video. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. That helps me out and it lets YouTube know to share this to a wider audience, which lets me keep making more and more YouTube videos. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my video.